All my thoughts, particularly my prayers, have not forgotten the indigenous, for the Western man's been working so hard against us. With his Western medicine and his land management, his fences, and the way he protects and the way he preserves, never the way he neglects the people that came first. You know, the same ones that he massacred. It all starts to make sense. Where we're going, where we're at, and where we've been. It all starts to make sense. Well, creator, the behavior of the collective youth definitely seems to be in favor of the Western man's invasion. I see him pumping fear like an IV, spreading it like a disease, and all the while building a clueless army of God-fearing youth with no knowledge of the truth, and their selfishness is so ugly. It all starts to make sense. Who we gotta talk to if we wanna survive this mess? It all starts to make sense. Itty-bitty economies based on geography, fueled by spectators and their money and their need for things that will not last. So go and build a hotel, a gift shop in the wilderness, making a profit, capitalizing on it, and all the while trampling on everything that is sacred, and it all starts to make sense. It all starts to make sense. Why the Western man destroys things he doesn't understand. It all starts to make sense. All these patterns and wasteful, destructive practices, living like a third world country inside this country. Forget the government that puts the people in poverty, and it bothers me when our people are going hungry and corporate companies have got the cupboard for the groceries. It's disgusting, or you can do nothing and complain about the situation in which you're living, and it all starts to make sense. They're vultures of culture and they're picking on all of my friends. It all starts to make sense. Oh, indigenous imprisonment. Well, I dedicate my life to the people who need the light to help them rise above the scam on the land and their lives, and I'm cutting like a knife off the lies by the slice, and depending on this democracy, is it really worth the bite? Request is reasonable, try undefeatable. Ambitiously we're moving towards solutions that are feasible. It's unbelievable, all the slogans and people, and they can care less just as long as they are comfortable. It's unforgivable because the conditions now are critical, and whether or not you're ready, we are now approaching a pinnacle. It's difficult to say exactly what to do, but the change begins with me, and I'll reflect it back to you and you and you and you. Come on, man, make the movement move. Make the movement move. It all starts to make sense. It all starts to make sense. With all these omens and the moon phase we're in, it all starts to make sense. Well, I dedicate my life to the people who need the light to help them rise above the scam on the land and their lives, and I'm cutting like a knife for the lies by the slice. Depending on this democracy, is it really worth the bite? Our quest is reasonable, try undefeatable. Ambitiously, we're moving towards solutions that are feasible. It's unbelievable. All the slogans and people, and they can care less just as long as they're comfortable. It's unforgivable because the conditions now are critical, and whether or not you're ready, we are now approaching a pinnacle. It's difficult to say exactly what to do, but the change begins with me, and I'll reflect it back to you. And you, come on, man.